Hi there. Welcome to the Daily Briefing for September the 8th, a Tuesday, day after Labor Day. And we need to report a minor change, not a huge one. At least it doesn't look like it has far-reaching consequences yet. But there is a change to the dashboard with the discovery of a new active case, this one in a non-resident. So we're going to talk to the person that you should talk to when something like this happens, a doctor. Namely Dr. Sanders, who has joined us regularly to bring us these updates. And you can hear them on the radio in the 1, 5, and 8 p.m. hours on KLAM and KCDV, also uploaded to youtube.com/Cordova TV. So let's see what the doctor thinks about this here. Dr. Sanders, it's been a little while, and not the kind of change to our dashboard that we love, but why don't we just have you run it down as far as the significance?
Well, over the weekend, the medical team did identify another case of COVID. Per kind of our new operating guidelines, when we identify a case over the weekend, if there's no increased risk of safety or potential areas of increased infection risk, we don't notify until the start of the business week. So that's why the notification is coming out today that we had a new case over the weekend, but we do not feel that the community is at risk from this case.
Okay, so that's always kind of the key thing that folks want to know the most is, do I need to avoid anything? Do I need to change any behaviors, anything like that? And as has been the case the last several times that one pops up, it doesn't sound like you're too worried about the potential for spread at this point, and people should just continue to do what they're doing?
Yes, at this point, we want everybody to continue the mitigation strategies and following the mask guidelines like we have talked about really for the whole summer. And the medical team continues to constantly monitor for any outbreaks or any areas of concern for the community, and we will absolutely notify people as soon as we have any concern.
Okay, should they even arise. So does this mean anything? I mean, we've seen City Hall is scheduled to begin its reopening today, or the Cordova Center, not just City Hall, but a number of things in the Cordova Center, the school. Do you feel good about all of them continuing what they're planning?
Yes, I think it's an important time with schools reopening and different businesses opening a little bit more, but we all pay attention to ensuring that when we're sick, we stay at home, and encouraging parents to screen their children before they send them to school. We do know that schools are a congregate setting, and this virus, as we have more time looking and studying it, the epidemiologists have been able to validate the R naught of this illness is 2.5, right around 2.5, which means that every person that gets sick typically infects 2.5, if you can, 2.5 additional people. Mm-hmm. And you can see how that exponential spread can go quickly without mitigation strategies. Our strategies have been working to help slow the spread, and we just want to encourage the community to keep doing what they're doing because we have been effective so far. And as we go into the fall, we want to have a successful school year.
What is a typical R naught for? Are the different influenza seasons different enough from each other that changes a lot, or is there sort of an average for influenza?
It changes between different seasons, and it can change based on if it's a virus that's coming that the community hasn't seen. That certainly can increase that R naught, how quickly it spreads. So I think in general in medicine, we tend to worry when the R naught is above 1.
Right. Meaning that to some degree, an individual that has the infection has the potential to spread it to more than one other person. And of course, that increases exponentially when you're talking about people being together in larger groups.
Yes, one of the things that we see with COVID is that a large number, we've certainly seen this here in our community, a large number of people that do catch this illness will have very little or almost no symptoms, and that enables this virus to pass between people and be very contagious because you don't know that you have the illness. And of course, nobody would knowingly go and spread an illness like this. So we still have to worry about those high-risk populations. Even with as many people as we see with mild illness, there still are very bad illness, particularly in the high-risk groups. So we really want to continue to encourage people to wear masks and social distance, but really just continue to operate in what is now our new normal. We certainly don't want to be scaring people and making them feel afraid to go and participate in school and go into City Hall when they need to. We just want everybody to follow the guidelines and the rules that businesses and schools and city has put into place.
Okay. As you have watched the continued evolution of understanding of the virus, I mean, to the extent that I would have to think that the body of knowledge continues to grow, what are you seeing as because you have access to medical reports and studies and information that maybe the average person doesn't see, although with the internet that's different than it used to be. But I mean, is there anything that stands out to you as far as the gaining of knowledge or the potential for therapeutics, anything along that line?
I think it's been a really neat year to watch how quick data can be analyzed and how even though we have been dealing with this for coming up on a year now, and certainly everybody is getting fatigue of COVID and sick of having to live with this new normal. But we have been dealing with it for quite some time now. A year on the time scale of looking at other illnesses is incredibly short, but we have been able to have numerous vaccines that are already toward the pretty far stages in clinical trials. We have some therapeutics, including some of the plasma donation that has looked very promising. So I think when we look at how quickly the advances have changed and adapted to COVID, it's really remarkable. I don't have any one thing that I right now am really ready to celebrate, but I'm continuing to hope for that big breakthrough.
Okay. Anything in sort of the frequently asked question category that you get, as we always say, something that you answer it for 3 different people and think, geez, I wish I could let a lot of people know this all at once?
I don't think so. I think people are pretty well aware of the testing schedule. The hospital's doing testing on Tuesday and Thursday. Lanka is offering testing on Monday and Friday. We are going to continue airport testing for new arrivals from out of town 7 days a week until the last week of September, at which point we will adjust our community testing to accommodate any new arrivals here at the regular scheduled times. So we're going to continue the really strong testing effort so that we can identify the cases early and isolate the community from those cases.
All right. Well, anything else then in terms of final thoughts, or have we pretty well covered it for today, do you think?
I think we've covered it. I just want to let everybody know that I really appreciate their support, and I know this has been a really challenging year. I do see people continuing to have good hand hygiene and wearing their masks and just being kind and respectful to each other as we go into the school year.
All right. Well, we thank you very much, and I know that we'll be able to visit with you because you've made yourself so available for this, which is great. So if anything develops, we'll positive or negative, that we'll have that chat with you when the time comes, and we certainly hope you have a good day.
Absolutely. Thank you. You too.
Always good to be able to visit with Dr. Sanders when things change. I forgot to mention, too, at the top of the show, one other change on the dashboard. The resident case is recovered. So we still just have the one active case. We had a Cordova resident diagnosed a little while back. The update shows that one as a recovered case, so we have one active case, this in a non-resident. And if you would like to know more about the city's response and recommendations and plans for reopening things gradually and carefully, cityofcordova.net, actually specifically COVID-19.cityofcordova.net. will give you that information. A phone call to 424-INFO lets you interact with somebody who can take your questions or comments. And the Native Village of Eak's phone number at 424-WELL with the pre-recorded information. We want to thank you again for joining us for the briefing today here on the 8th of September, 1, 5, and 8 p.m. hours on the radio, uploaded as soon as we can get it up there to youtube.com/Cordova TV as well. Again, not much to worry about, but the virus is around, so everybody continue to be vigilant, do what you've been doing, and hopefully our box score will continue to look great. Back to regular programming now on the Clam and the Eagle.